grandfathers and your great-grandfathers and urinating on a grave. You're not going to do it. But sadly, if you besmirch the memory of, you know, your forefathers, what they've done and stood for by selling out, basically, because that's what the people are doing. They're selling out their history. They're selling out their beliefs.
Selling out everything. They're becoming a company, and some fans are allowing this to happen because that's fans. It's like English football fans. I mean, to them, this sounds so cliche to say, and people will be listening going, "Oh, she's such a gobshite." But what I mean is, certain football clubs in England, they are a business, and people like Man United jerseys. Millions of people have Man United jerseys. They don't care about Man United. They just want to support a team that are winning. And that's, you know what I mean? And I know the word glory hunter, I'm not even going to use that there. That's what it is. But people seem to forget Celtic are a lot more than that. To some people, like, I didn't grow up supporting a football club. I grew up in a household where Celtic was part of my life, like, you know, and I know it sounds really stupid, but I mean, it wasn't a thing of like, you know, it's very hard to explain it, you know, but it wasn't something like, you know, you'd buy a Celtic jersey because Celtic done this or done that. You bought a Celtic jersey because you'd no choice. That's what you wear, you know.
You don't have to explain yourself, because see the people you're talking to, myself and everybody listening, we're the exact same thing. So you don't have to explain to us. We'll get the same. We hear you. I hear you, Rachel. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very upsetting. Like, I know people, like even the comments back, people are like, "I'll just ignore it, just ignore it." It's very hard to ignore it, though. Do you know what I mean? When people are, it's rammed down your throat, as in to say, I mean, honestly, and I mean this, and I can be quoted on this in years to come, I'm telling you, it mightn't be now in the next couple of years, right? It might take a little bit longer, but I am telling you, and I swear to God this is going to happen, there will be a group of fans, alleged fans, within our camp as such, that will come out and say, want that tricolour gone from Celtic. We've moved on from them times. And I know you might think that's never going to happen, but I am telling you, it might never be taken down, but I am telling you, there will be a group of fans that will come out and say, that needs to go now.
Well, after all, it's a political statement, and it's nothing really technically to do with Celtic. They would proclaim. Earlier on, I spoke to someone who runs a pub. You probably have seen it on the way to Celtic Park a few times with the Loyalist Order, called the Loudon Tavern.
Yes.
And you know what he was talking about? He was asking me, the question he kept asking me over and over, Rachel, right, was what has the Irish flag got to do with Celtic? Why is it flown there? I kept saying, why is it flown? Why is it flown? And he was asking me different, and he kept asking, I kept giving him different ones, and then at the end I says, look, come on, you're the sage of all knowledge, you tell me. And he went, well, when was the club formed? And then it went 1887. I knew where he was going right away, because then he turned round and said, but the tricolour wasn't. He said, why don't you have the flag that was up then, you know, as if it made a difference. But the thing is, you're saying there may come a point, and God help us if it does, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, at that point, then we've really lost our club just now. We're on the brink of losing it, but I think we can still pull it back if we do something.
Oh, yeah.
But if we get to that stage, then it truly is lost. If there's a group of people who say, right, well, we'll take this flag down and it doesn't represent us, because that's the level they're taking it to, isn't it, really?
Oh, yeah, they are, though, they are. And I said, when I put that out there, I put this out a while ago, people were like, never going to happen, never going to happen. Now, I put this up to Tommy Ben yesterday. No, was it yesterday I put it up? Yeah, yesterday, about the flag coming down. And the difference, people wrote back and said, I hope this never happens. I thought, hope. You know what I mean? This is the difference now, because people are nearly getting diluted into it, kind of think, would it be really that bad? What I find hilarious is the people, and I have had the odd tweet from people saying things like, you know, Celtic could still be the same club if they didn't have the tricolour flying, all this bollocks, right? And I'm listening to them and I'm kind of thinking, you're saying that while you're standing in a photo waving a tricolour. Right? It's the complete like, I can't get my head around what way have they been reared that they're so one way, and then the next day. And the problem as well with Scotland is the media, big time, you know. And I know that's a completely different show, but again, it's one rule for one rule for another. I mean, here in Ireland, you could go out and you could write anything, not that you could write anything, but you wouldn't be seen straight away as, you're one side this, you're that. I mean, I tweet anything up there, and it would be fine here in Ireland, but you get some people coming on and go, well, you're actually quite bigoted, aren't you? I'm like, why? Because I love Ireland and I love Celtic. You know, I mean, loving Ireland and loving Celtic is seen to a number of people in Scotland as you're just straight out a bigot. You know, you can't love both of them and not be a normal person. So that's another problem, but I know you've had that.
No, listen, stay there.
Hello?
We've been joined by someone. Hello, who's this?
Hello, this is Harry speaking from Meads in Abbotsford. How are you going?
Who's this, sorry?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, who's this?
Harry from Meads in Abbotsford.
Yeah?
Am I talking to R-Wire Solution?
Yeah, what do you want?
I'm just calling to let you know I have an order from you here.
Yeah, what have you got?
And it's ready for pickup. The order number is ROMCA Rome Cafe.
Yeah? What have you got?
A couple of plugs, power cords, cable glands, cable flex, 3-core, 4mm in grey.
See, you phoning on my Melbourne number, yeah? You phoning my Melbourne number, yeah? Listen, can you, what else do you sell, my man?
Pardon me?
Listen, what else do you sell? Do you sell anything else? Do you sell bangers and mash? Beneficial herbs?
No. No?
No, why not? You sell mango lassies, smoothies, jelly and ice cream? Do you sell any tricolours? Or are you on here touting for the PLC?
No. I don't know what you're talking about, to be honest.
Sorry, but can you repeat what you wanted again then?
R-Wire Solutions.
Allied Solution? Oh, yeah. Is that the All Lies, or is that just the Allied?
No, are you in 19 Down Street?
I'm in Kerrydale.
Is this your address?
Kerrydale Street, Glasgow. We're talking to the lovely Rachel. You're through to Celtic Community Radio. We're talking about how the PLC have shafted the ordinary Celtic fan, brother. And you phoned my Melbourne number 3090186767. Are you in Melbourne, bro? Aye.
Yeah.
Okay, so what have you got? Have you got clamps? We do like a good clamping here. I've been clamping zombies for years. I almost bought the zombies for £2 for Craigie White. I got Francisco Sandaza sacked. He can now run onto a pitch in Spain and bless himself. No, but listen, mate, it's cool. Where are you going? Rachel?
Well, that was interesting.
Well, listen, I got a number down in Australia a few weeks ago because there's a good brother who was phoning from Australia, and I thought, well, I'll save his bill here because he was on for about an hour. I was like, well, the next time he phones, he can phone us through the Skype. You can wonderful things with technology. So no, I thought that was a brother there from down under wanting to offer his view on the thing. But there was a salesman from, I don't know, Allied Space.
God love him.
God love him for encountering me and you here. Fucking hell.
Gas. But yeah, no, so that's my only bit of input I have for you, so...
No, but listen, see what you're saying, you're 100% right, that if it comes to the stage when Celtic fans and a group of us turn around and say that, then God help us, Rachel, God help us.
God help me, I have 2 Celtic tattoos, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Jesus.
I'm in big trouble. I don't know.
I'm too much of a gentleman to ask where they are, but if you want to help
Oh,
us,
no, they're not provocative in any way, they're all right. But,
I know, get them provocative, be as provocative as you like. But what have you got? What have you got as a tattoo? What have you got as a tattoo?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go, but I just hope it's not. I hope I'm wrong, if you know what I mean. I hope I am wrong. But like I said, anybody that's been following me on Twitter knows that I've said this for a number of months that this is going to happen, and I knew. And people keep commenting saying it's only because of the banner. It's not only because of the banner. I'm telling you, this has been. I don't know if you agree or not, but this has been boiling a little while.
Yeah, you better believe it. I've been trying to get it boiling here as well. I mean, earlier on tonight, we're talking about enough's enough. I mean, we've been doing shows and talking about it, and everybody phoning in and saying, look, we need to do something. So now I've just started musing out there saying, why don't we get something like Celts for Change 2? Or sack the PLC. I mean, it was sack the board, but now it's sack the PLC. You know, we want to back Celtic, but we want to sack the PLC. So we're thinking of having a meeting somewhere in Glasgow. Maybe even do what they did over in the Celts for Change back 20 years ago when they took it onto I think they took it over to Belfast, went on a ferry and gathered support over in Ireland. So, I mean, if that's the way forward, the Celtic fans, we have to do something to save our club because I've gave up going because I feel so disenfranchised with everything at every stroke that the PLC does just makes me so disheartened. Disheartened. It's unbelievable. And you know, when I hear Celtic fans defending them, I mean, it makes me sick because, I mean, these people, and you give me so much heart for what you're saying as well, Rachel, because at least there's somebody out there who cares and has got a belief and a passion.
Oh, big time. Well, it's belief as in, like, I mean, that's what I said tonight. I mean, what am I meant to do? Not what am I meant to do. Like, I have got another life other than Celtic, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? But in a sense of, Celtic gave my life, so, like, it's like an extra family. You know, that's what we were reared on. That's what we do. I mean, my dad, that's all we were reared on was Celtic. That was it. There was no other. We were always used to our Saturdays or Sundays watching the Celtic matches. You know, that's the way what we were reared into. But we were always reared into the whole. I mean, my dad didn't just wake up one day and decide to support a team in Scotland for the sake of it. You know, that's what I find amazing is people commenting and saying, why don't you support a team in Ireland? Why don't you, this is the best one, why don't you follow your own club? Celtic are my own club. You know, like, you hear it every day yourself, you know what I'm talking about, but I just hope that people aren't given enough airtime or given enough time to keep their preaching their shite, because they're only causing more damage to the club, if you ask me, you know.
I know. For yourself, you're a journalist in Dublin then?
Yeah, I am. But I don't. I used to always want to be a sports journalist, and then Twitter changed me, and I said, no way. I've seen far too many journalists that I follow on this that are starting off in Glasgow, and one day they're Celtic, love Celtic, and the next day they're like, I have to condemn the fans on what they did this week, and I have to condemn this and that. And I said, listen, I'm not getting into that game. If you can't, I'm not being conditioned to have a certain opinion. So, leave that there. I'm doing other things now, so it's all good. But I'd rather not get involved in that, because I know there's an avenue for it, but again, I don't want to be told what to say. And I think far too many journalists in Scotland are doing what they're told to get paid, and that's not a journalist in my opinion, so... You know, and you're obviously going to have a form of bias. I mean, obviously, I'm Irish and I support Celtic. I can admit that I'm going to be biased, but I can also admit the fact that I'm not going to put myself in that position to work for an organisation that makes me spout lies about the club I've grown up supporting. So, you know.
I hear you, Rachel. No, it's heartwarming hearing that, that there's other people. I mean, you're from a different generation than myself. I mean, you're from when you were saying the stuff about it chimed exactly with what I was saying, but I'm reminiscing back. I was saying it to other brothers, and they're saying, we're talking about the old times with the jungle. But you're right, even if you go back just 10, 15 years to the time under Martin O'Neill, how we don't get full grounds anymore, how the people that are coming, because round about that time, I mean, everything was kind of fresh. We'd got back into our new home and everybody was turning up, and the reason why the place was full was because there was so many wonderful people coming over from Dublin and Belfast and all over Ireland getting buses over, and now you see that maybe the recession's got something to do with it, but then if Celtic is watering itself down or watering out its Irish base,
100%.
Then there must be people over in Ireland saying, well, what's the fucking point of paying for this money to come over when I can watch it on the TV, and why give them the money and why bother? Because they're really treating us like shite, and that's what it seems.
But that's it. Like, I'm booked up to I'm going to Barcelona now in 2 weeks, and like, listen, I'm going to have a great time. But there was a point to me there that at one stage I was like, why am I bothering? Do you know? And I know that sounds terrible. I would never go.
Have you got tickets for it, by the way?
No, we haven't even sorted anything out yet. But we're just gonna get over there and sort it out.
Listen, listen, how fate what works. I've got a friend who just came over. He works for Barcelona, and I took him actually. 3 years ago tonight, I went to my first El Clasico, and it was Barcelona against Madrid. It was 5-0 Barca, right? And I fell in love with the place. But before that, and I became a member of Barca, and it was because I wanted to take my wee boy there for his 10th birthday treat. And I phoned up, and I had to get my PIN number for the draw. For the if you were a member, you could get a chance to buy a ticket for the Clasico coming up in November. And the deadline was coming up, and I had to get my PIN number. So I said, I need to speak to somebody who speaks English. And so they got this wonderful guy, and he's actually going to be I never mentioned this anywhere, but I've just said this now for the first time, but hopefully I'm not getting him into trouble, but he's going to be the interpreter for Neil Lennon in 2 weeks' time, right? But I was going to